Hello everyone, it's Dawn and welcome back. Welcome to our new subscribers, welcome to our long-term subscribers, and welcome to anyone who's watching, whether you're a subscriber or not. Lovely to have you with us. Now today I'm going to be making, well I was going to say a Mother's Day treat because Mother's Day is just around the corner, literally. But it could be for Easter, it could just be a birthday present, it could be this is an anything you like gift. So we're not doing a card today, we're going to do a gift and we're going to use this paper. And if I tilt this, you probably can't see what I've got on top, but I've got a clear, or clearish, plastic box. Now in this box, we had a little tub of 16 Ferrero Rochers, which I've got just over there. I haven't eaten them, not even one, because I want to use this. I had to take them out because I want to stick something on the inside of my box. So this would be very useful for anyone who perhaps might have manual dexterity difficulties, perhaps due to arthritis or any other problems. Because we've taken the lid off. There was a flat lid on this and we've taken the lid off and we're going to find another way. Or we're going to find another way. I'll show you what I mean as we go along. Now, you may not have this box. I chose this one. It was the first box I found that I thought would be useful for the project. But I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm just going to turn this paper over. This is the coloured paper that I'm using, or pattern paper. And I'm going to turn it over and show you how I determined the size. Because if you're using a different size box, the sizes I give you for this one aren't going to fit. So I'm going to turn the paper over. We're going to pop the box there just for a second. I'm going to turn the paper over, turn the paper over, and I'm going to show you how I calculated my size. What I did was I put my box face down on top of my paper, then I drew around it, but I made it just fractionally bigger, just under I'd say about ½ an inch bigger, not even that. Between 1/4 and ½ an inch bigger, and then I measured it. So for this box, you will need a base to cover the base of the box, which measures 3 by 5.5. Then I measured this bit here, the sides, and they are about 2 inches. And so we're going to allow another ½ an inch. So you're going to have a 3 by 5.5 inch base, and then the sides are going to be 2.5 inches. I will add these measurements in the description below, but obviously if you're going to use a different size box, just do the same thing. Measure around it, draw around it so it's just fractionally bigger so that you don't have to squeeze it in, and then measure up the size just about ½ an inch higher than the sizes of your box. And that way it should fit beautifully. So I haven't tested this out, so let's see if it does fit beautifully. Then once I did that, I've already done one end. We had to make some tabs. The tabs I've made 1 inch. Now I know in many of these projects, other crafters, they'll tell you to do a ½ an inch tab, but I like my tab to be a full inch because it'll give it a better stick and it'll hold it stronger. You could use this in place of the plastic tub if you wanted to, but I'm actually going to put the plastic tub inside this and all will become as clear as mud, or hopefully a bit clearer, as we go along. So I've already released the tabs on that side. So I'm going to turn it over, find myself a pair of scissors, there we go. And so all we do, now I have to make sure I get this right. Turn it round so that it's flush to the side. So have one of the long sides facing you, cut down, and then just cut a tiny wedge like that. And we'll have a wedge out the other side, like that. So take those out, then we turn it round, and we do exactly the same thing. Cut up to where those two lines meet, just like that. Then we're going to cut a tiny wedge. The tiny wedge will mean that it's not bulky. If you leave them flat, it might be a bit bulky and it might not look very smooth when we put our box together in a minute. So then, if you wanted to, you can use a scoreboard to do this, but as we can already see our lines, these lines now become score lines. Every pencil line you can now see will become a score line. As I've said, if you want to use your scoreboard, you can. I'm not going to bother. Because I can see my score lines, I'm just going to fold up to them and fold them over. And we're going to do that on all of our score lines. So these pencil lines are now score lines. So just put your finger in there like that, fold up to it, and give it a good press. And likewise, so put your finger on the score line, just like that, where I've put my fingers. Fold up to it and just press it up, press it down. And you can do the same to the tabs as well. So we'll have this put together in next to no time. So fingers there, fold it over, unless you're using a scoreboard. And if you're going to use a scoreboard, just find any old rut, doesn't matter. Find a ridge, it's already measured out, so you don't need to measure it. Just pop it in, find a ridge and score it, but I'm not going to bother, as I've said, because we've already got our lines. So just put your fingers one more time on the score line or fold line and fold it. Hopefully you'll get it straighter than I did. So there we go. So that's our box all cut and scored and folded. So now the next thing to do is put the thing together. Now you can use tape if you want to, but over time, and especially if you're going to use these Ferrero Rocher or any chocolates, they can add a bit of weight. So you might want to use glue. What you might want to do as well is use tape first, which I'm not going to do this time, and then put the glue over the top just to get that instant stick. I wouldn't recommend using hot glue. You can try it, but you might find it's a bit bulky. So I'm not going to, I hardly ever use hot glue. You could use a construction weight glue if you like. In fact, that might have been better, but I'm going to use my quick grab glue. This is tacky glue. So if you're generous with it, give it a good splodge of glue. That's a technical term, of course, splodge of glue. So just bring the two edges together, wipe any excess glue. This will take a little while to dry, dry solid. Once it's dry, it'll dry clear. And we're going to do that on all four sides. So just squeeze a bit more glue. This is a relatively new glue bottle, so it should, she says hopefully, behave itself. And the glue should come out nice and obediently. It should come out as we want it to. So we're just going to do that. I like this tacky glue because it doesn't take too long to grab. And once it's dry, it'll be quite solid. So we're just going to do the other side like this. We'll just do these other tabs. So give the bottle a squeeze, of course. You could use a smaller bottle if you want, but I'm just going to do it this way. You can, some people I know, some crafters decant it into a smaller bottle. I don't. And I'll tell you why. There's no particular reason apart from the fact that I can't be bothered to keep on filling it up every 2 minutes. So that's why I don't. Pure laziness. I admit it. So there we go. Now we have our box. But we're not going to put the big box in, we're not going to put the plastic box in there just yet. We will very, very shortly. So there we go. It's like that if you rock it on its side. So I'm just going to pop that up there for a second. And we are going to bring our box back because now we are going to make a type of closure, but we're going to use acetate. And for this size of box, you will need a piece of acetate that measures, I think it's 5 by 8. It is 5 by 8. Now, if you're using a different type of box, you need a piece of acetate that is the depth of both sides. So this, for example, this is 2.5. So you need 5. So you need the calculation of 2. So this is 2.5. So 2.5 times 2 is 5. And then you need about 2 inches on the top. So that's how you calculate it. 2 or 3 inches on the top. So I've allowed 3, I think. Yes, I've allowed 3 inches. So I've got 5 by 8. And I've put, oh, it's stuck to my pad. Oh, never mind. It's got some glue on it, but it'll come off. I'm not worried. But before I do that, that was almost this week's deliberate mistake. I am going to pop that to one side because I had a last minute change of mind. I was going to put handles on this, but I was going to put them on the sides like that, but I changed my mind. So what I am going to do, I'm going to put a strip of pattern paper, this is double-sided paper, down the middle of the acetate. Now I know you can't see that acetate very well, but you will in a minute. And this strip measures 8, which is the length of the acetate strip, by 2. And you can either not do this at all if you don't want to, or you can adjust the width however you want it. It's just so that the acetate has a bit of colour on it, a bit of pattern. So if I can find the middle of my acetate, which is very difficult because I can't see it. So just put the edge down, edge to edge. I've done that straight, haven't I? Oh, dearie me. So if we can pull that back up without tearing the paper, we will. And I'm not sure that we can. Oh, well. So it's going to be a bit wonky. Well, do you know what? I'm going to live with it. So what we're going to do with this, though, we're going to put this on the inside of the plastic box. So we're going to turn it over. I've got double-sided tape on here. And I'm going to take that off, turn it round, And now which side shall I put it on? Doesn't really matter. And I've put that on the wrong side, but that doesn't matter. So I'm going to pop that in there like that. So your acetate goes there. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring that in and pop that in there like that. So it's not going to look too bad, you know. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to, as quickly as I can, bring the sweeties back, my Ferrero Rocher. In this case, you don't have to use Ferrero Rocher, of course. You can use any sweets you like, and you don't even have to put sweets in this if you don't want to. You don't have to put chocolates in it, or candies, or whatever you like to call it. You can put anything in it. You can put some jewellery in it if you want to. You can put a nice little set of a little mini wash kit, people's favourite soaps. You can put whatever you like in it. So what you can do, if you like the size of this box, you could buy the Ferrero Rocher, and if you don't want to give them as a gift, you can take them out and eat them, but I don't suggest you eat them all at once because you'll be sick. And put what you like in there. So you can put another gift in there, a non-food gift. Especially if it's going to travel, or if it's going to be posted, it might not arrive in one piece. So what happens, once you've done that, you would take this bit, so because it's double-sided, you've still got that lovely pattern. Oh, that hasn't worked out too badly, actually. And that goes down like that. So that will sit very nicely like that. And then all the person's got to do is lift it up. Now there's one more thing we need to do and we are done. I wanted to just add one more piece of embellishment. Now, just to show your recipient which side to lift your acetate. Now I've got several stickers here. I've got one with a teapot and a cup of tea, but that might be a bit big. And I've got these roses, or flowers. I think they're probably flowers. So what I'm going to do, these are 3D stickers, which are absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to take it off like that. And I'm going to stick it down like that. So if I hold it up like that, you can see it from the side. I'm trying desperately not to let the whole thing open. It shouldn't do. So there we go. That's what it looks like from the side. And if I stand it up, if I rock it sort of on a tilt, you can see it. And if I stand it up, you can see the strip where the acetate was. You can lift, anybody who receives this can lift this acetate very easily. Take out a chocolate if they want it, or whatever happens to be in there. And then if they want to save some for later, if they're very disciplined, unlike me, you can put it back down again. So there you go, guys. We're going to call it a chocolate box, but you can use it for whatever, you can put whatever gift in it you like. So there is our chocolate box with an acetate lid, an acetate domed lid even. So maybe we'll call it that. A chocolate box with an acetate dome lid, or acetate lid. You'll see what it's called when we put it up. So there you go, guys. There is our gift for today, or our project for today. Very pretty. The papers came from the Ryman's 1893 crafts. That paper didn't. That just came out of a magazine from somewhere. This sticker pack came out, this 3D sticker pack also came from the Ryman's 1893 crafts. I will add a link to that down below. And the measurements for this particular box. But as I said earlier, you will need to adjust those measurements if you're using a different size box. But if you wanted this box, this is the Ferrero Rocher. That's not a sponsored. Ferrero Rocher aren't sponsoring me to do that. It's just the first thing I saw. And it's the one with 16 in the box. So it's that size. So there you go, guys. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. And please join me for the next one. And in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Take care, have fun, and as always, happy crafting. Bye-bye for now.